FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
In closing, really, Brian, you have said you compare living today to living in 1911 and trying to imagine what the future of film would look like. I'd like you to expand a little bit on this.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Well, actually, I think what I was actually talking about was the internet, actually.
Right.
So I said, imagine if you saw a film in 1911. Imagine how impossible it would be to think of somebody like Martin Scorsese or Alfred Hitchcock or the type Terminator 3, whatever. You couldn't imagine the future of cinema from what you'd seen then. It would look like a kind of limited and not very interesting medium. And I think that about a lot of the things that are going on now, you know, the beginnings of some of the video games we see, which still look a little bit stupid because they ultimately nearly all involve killing people and wearing funny clothes, which of course I can't bear the thought of, as you can imagine. But you have to look at these media as though you're looking at cinema in 1904 or something like that, you know. So just imagine you're seeing the very first beginnings, you know, all the apps that you see on the iPod and the iPad. Just imagine that they're the very beginnings of new art forms. And there are some, if you look at it that way, and, you know, it's a little bit like looking at one of those French films of a train coming into a station, and that's the film. Nothing else happens. And you know how audiences thought, oh, that's amazing, but it would never be art. Of course, it was just a demonstration of a trick at that time. So all those things that we're now looking at as new tricks, things that seem rather cute and clever, and you know, people have them on their iPhones and so on.
You have created your own
trick.
Yes.
Yeah. I have an app that I don't want to advertise it.
No, you don't advertise
I'm embarrassed.
it. Just don't advertise it. Talk about it a little bit.
Okay. Well, I made with my friend Peter Sellars an app called Bloom, which is essentially a piece of music that never plays the same twice, and in fact you activate it. Some of you might know that app because it's one of the most successful music apps available. And I think it was probably the first one that actually did sound like music, rather than sound something cute to tiddle around with. And I think it's the beginning of I humbly say, I think it's the beginning of a new art form.